Hello, good greetings. A motorcycle which has the attraction of a mathematics theorem to me, that is to say that it is irrefutable in its laws and I feel shall stand the test of time. The Bajaj V, ladies and gentlemen, a courageous motorcycle that is trying to create a segment of its own. And an interesting fact is that it's got no Bajaj insignia anywhere on the motorcycle except on its engine. Now, if you ever felt formidable or invincible when you swung your leg over a Royal Enfield Bullet just because of the way you sat on it, well, chances are that this motorcycle is going to tick the same box a whole lot more. Now, it's a 150cc motorcycle that comes at the price of a 135cc motorcycle with a whole lot of attention to detail and a whole lot of effort that has gone into making it sound the way it does. Sergeant Sagar is in the United States of America sipping at Pina Colada. Our pint-sized racer Akash is not so lucky, for he's got a broken leg at the national championships. What is then the metal to this war hero metal? Varun Painter shall help us find out.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is a bright and warm morning here in Pune, and the reason for this plastered smile is because I am going to be riding a motorcycle. But not just any other motorcycle, I'm going to swing my leg over a piece of history. They say invincible, they call. Yes, I am at the first ride event of the Bajaj V15. When you first saw this bike, Ritvik was gazing over it at the launch event, and we now have a fair idea of what the V15 offers in terms of numbers and the history that it has. As special as the bike is, I also get this very special key which houses a small Allen key which can be used to take this rear cowl on and off. Well, I'm going to cut the chatter and I'm going to take the V15 out for a spin in this urban jungle, and I'll see you on the road. Alright, first things first, I really have to question myself. Does this really look like a commuter? Well, how about hell no? In fact, if you take a closer look at it in flesh, you will have a faint glimpse of the CS400. It houses the most powerful headlamp in its segment. It also has an LED tail lamp, a big burly exhaust, and these two metal V badges on either side of the tank. This one gets an all-new 150cc motor built from ground up for this motorcycle. It's a commuter motorcycle, it's not a race spec machine, it's not meant to be revved hard. All the torque and the power that this motorcycle gives is very user-friendly and really easy to access when you're riding around in the city. When you talk about vibrations on the V15, there are no vibrations till you reach the speed of 60 kilometers an hour. And also, this chunky foot peg is there to take care of the rest. Alright, moving on. If you look at the resume of a commuter motorcycle, it has upright handlebars and comfortable ergos to begin with. And with a wheelbase of just 1315 mm, which is also the shortest when you compare it to competition, maneuvering this is going to be a super easy job in the city. Also, it weighs in at about 135.5 kilograms, which is a kilo and a half heavier than its nearest competition, the Yamaha SZR. Now, a commuter usually does not have the urgency to check his fuel gauge that often. And with a 13-liter fill-up on this one, I don't even want to look at it for the next 400 kilometers. But since I already have, what I see is an analog speedometer, a fuel gauge, nothing digital on it here, and this color changing LED display, which obviously cannot be seen because of the sunlight over here. Now, more interesting bits to this motorcycle in terms of the rim size. The front has an 18-inch rim and the rear gets a 16-inch rim. Now, there are two main reasons for that. The first one being that Bajaj always wanted a scrambler-ish kind of look to this motorcycle. The second one being that the rear, being a smaller rim, will churn out the torque even more effortlessly. And both these rims have been mated to tubeless tires, The rear one gets a 120 section rear tire, which is the widest when you look at the competition in the segment. The Bajaj V15 is equipped with a 240mm disc at the front and a drum setup at the rear. I however wish that this had a separate disc variant for the rear as well, like the one we see on the hung, because you know, in this time of day and age, safety is always a priority, and even if the premium would have gone up by quite a bit, I think a lot of people would have preferred to see that disc setup at the rear too. And since we've already spoken about the hung, its rival, we'll talk about the kingpin of this segment, the recently revived Unicorn 150. It's an household name, it's got good sales numbers, and it comes with that ultra reliable Honda badging. But it is heavier, it does not get tubeless tires, and it has a longer wheelbase. And in this time of day-to-day traffic and city commuting, where we are looking at agility of the motorcycle being a primary concern, the Bajaj V15 has a lot of boxes being ticked for it positively. The one thing that I'm not really pleased with, the two things that I'm not really pleased with, one being the front brake, there is very little bite, and also the gearbox. I think it's a bit too notchy, and you will find yourself entering the false neutral zone pretty often. And also there's not the conventional 1 down 4 up system, it is the all up system that Bajaj is using on this motorcycle. Now I might look like Mount Kilimanjaro on this Bajaj V15, but then who cares when you have the bike taking all the attention on the street? Yes, this is a commuter, an executive commuter and that, and coming in at a price of rupees 61,000 for the stock one and rupees 62,000 for the one with accessories. This brings a whole new dimension to the executive commuter segment. Also, there are a lot of firsts from the Bajaj V15 in terms of the fatter rear tire or even the 33-inch front fork diameter that we see. And I believe that Bajaj has hit the sweet spot with the styling and the looks that it has got to the table. Also remember to like, share, comment, and until the next ride, goodbye.
Material, very good, very good. I'm ex-Bajaj, so I'm interested.
Oh yeah, that's really good to know. How do you find this motorcycle?
I'm just having a look.
But how did you find it? What
it was imported or what I thought?
No, it's not imported. It's made in India.